Ladies and gentlemen, today we discuss a heartwarming father-son tale. Morphe sadly pushes me away, leaving me in a tizzy. I said to St. Hubert and Peking University are just steps, so how did I become what I despise? Later, I deeply regretted and apologized, saying I was new at being in dad too and mistakes happen. To fulfill his wish and see the air show, I approached teacher Zayogao for a half-month leave. But he firmly denied my request, determined to keep Morphe from getting expelled. He insisted this was the most crucial moment of Morphe's life. PFFD, please. The real important moment should be sprinkled throughout every day, every minute. This time, teacher Zayogao was swayed by my argument, but Director Yan was a hard no. Not only did he forbid Morphe from taking leave, but he forced him to dorm, claiming it was for his own good. What a noble guy. With teacher Zayogao's help, we were finally on our way to the airshow, traveling by day and studying by night. Morphe learned lots of things he can't find in textbooks. On the airshow's final day, we climbed to the top of a hill to feel the thrill of planes zooming by, and Morphe finally knew his future aspiration. On the bus ride back, I fell asleep from exhaustion, and Morphe, worried I hadn't eaten, actually got off the bus to make me a bowl, but he accidentally got on the wrong bus. By then, it was boring. What a typical 1998 disaster. A once-in-a-century flood was about to hit. I rushed to find a shelter, but Morphe was nowhere in sight. At that moment, Morphe was surrounded by water. In a panic, I grabbed the megaphone and shouted, "If you can hear me, look around you. Use whatever you find. Get us out, hurry." When the flood warning sounded again, I had to turn and leave. But then I heard a whistle. Behind me there was a beam of light struggling through the flood. It was Morphe. He crafted a raft from a door, ropes from curtains. I taught him to think independently. After returning from the airshow, Morphe took his finals. On the day the results were announced, Morphe's name didn't show up in the top 10 of his class. He came in 65th overall. Everyone said he made huge progress though. But rules are rules. He had to take responsibility for his actions. Just as I was about to take Morphe out, teacher Zayogao stopped us. It turns out Morphe's essay betrayed Lin Fen, and he missed the top 10 by 21 points. I went to find Director Yan, who said Morphe's essay was just baffling. He said it was completely off topic and gave it 0 points. I didn't argue, I just picked up the test. Each multiple choice question has 4 options. A, B, C, D. That's great, but in their lives, when they encounter problems, those 4 options won't just pop up automatically. Knowing A, B, C, and D is crucial, but kids' answers should also include E to N. No matter how the world changes, they should think of X, Y, Z. This way, our kids can take charge of their own destinies. Director of Education thought this made sense and suggested everyone rate the essay. However, Director Yan and another teacher still gave it a 0. The Director of Education gave a 35 to what was meant to be a perfect essay. After rating, the average score was 12.8, but Morphe just barely made it into the top 10 and got to stay. Morphe's grades kept improving. He had a chance to be this year's top scorer on the college entrance exam. Yet, Director Yan begged him to give up being a pilot. How ridiculous. But Morphe said, "Dad always told me that in life, one must do what one loves." Later, Morphe achieved his dream of becoming a pilot, and though I was proud, I still had some regrets. That collapsed bridge weighed heavily on my heart. A decade passed, and Morphe went from pilot to astronaut. One day while slurping noodles, I heard a familiar voice hit his big head. I learned that he had modified my blueprints, leading to the bridge's collapse. Ouch! When I discovered the truth, my throat tightened, and I couldn't shout. The sharpest knife isn't what others say, it's the betrayal from those we trust. I stormed into the room, ready to deal with over 20 years of humiliation. But when I told Morphe, he urged me to give up on seeking justice, saying it was pointless. It's been so many years. Who else would care about this besides you? I was stunned, feeling like a knife had pierced my heart. I thought I taught him to think independently, chase his dreams, and never give up. But I now realize, to him, our father's dignity and the weight of justice can't compare to the realities of life. Looking at my son in his astronaut suit, I felt a stranger. Hope shone in his eyes, but not a shred of understanding. I knew he had his reservations, but I was still endlessly disappointed. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.